Hello, everyone, and welcome to AFCM podcast. I'm Angel Castro, and today we're going to dive into an important topic: the impact and power of young people in voting. We election in less than a week. The role of young voters becomes more important and crucial, shaping our communities, our policies, and our future. I'll be talking with two young voters to hear about their perspective and to share their insights about their participation and how important it is for young people to use their voice in this election. For the first segment, I want to talk about statistics and the background um, on young people voting in elections in the past elections. Well, first let's take a look at some numbers. In the recent years, young voter turnout has been increasing in the 2020 USA presidential election. For example, voters turnout amount 28 to 29 years old increased by 52%, which was a record high since the 2008 election. The increase highlights the growing awareness among young people and the influence that they have on the elections and the decisions that they are made in this country. And many of the reasons why young boys are going to the polls and that they're using their voice is about the growing concern that they have about climate change, justice, education, and employment. However, young voters still have a lower turnout than the older groups, particularly due to factors like the lack of information on voting process or feeling that their vote will not make a difference. As we approach election day, as I mentioned before, it's important for young people to use their voice and to make a difference on this country. As I talked to two young voters, and the first one is Maribel Cruz, which is a first-time voter in this election, and let's hear from her.
I personally want a change in the country. I want to see a change that hasn't happened in the past 4 years. And especially, and speaking of like, why should other younger people vote? I think it's also important for them to do so because we're the next generation that's going to continue living in this country for like the many years that will come. And I think my generation has a lot of clear things that they want to do, like things that they want to change. And many of us are taking that step and going out to the polls and voting. So it's important, like taking that first step, like for our generation, for the generations that are to come, like so they can see like it's important, like it does matter, like you going out and voting.
Well, thank you, Mabel, for that insight and congratulations on being your first time voting. I really appreciate your interview. But let's now go to the second segment: the challenges and motivations for young voters. Despite the positive trends, young people still face several barriers for voting. For example, many students have to balance school, work, and family obligation, making it harder for them to find time to vote or to have the motivation to do it. There's also other factors like political. Many feel like like politicians do not represent them. However, with the growth of social media, young people now have more resources to be educate themselves about voting and inspire others to participate in this process. Campaigns like Rock to the Vote and Vote Say America have made it easier to spread awareness to encourage turnout amongst your younger demographics. But with this being said, I have now here with me Valeria Olvera. She's a young voter also. She voted last week. Um, Valeria, can you tell us more about your experience voting? Was it easy or did you face any challenges?
Yeah, thank you for having me here first. Yeah, last week I voted for the first time. I went on a Friday morning and I voted in Dallas County since I don't live in Tarrant County. But, I walked in. It was it wasn't really that full. It was pretty empty. There was no lines. I went to the the person who checks your registration. They checked my registration. Everything went well, and then I went to the little booths, and since it was my first time, I was kind of nervous on how it would work. But I mean, beforehand, I went online and kind of saw how you would vote.
Thank you, Valeria, for your insight. I remember that your vote is important, and I really appreciate your time. This is how we're gonna wrap out this edition of AFCM podcast. I appreciate everyone hearing. Thank you so much to our guests today for sharing their thoughts. It is clear that young people have a unique voice and represent on the issues that shape our lives. Remember, every vote counts, and together, young people can make a huge impact. Do not forget to register, get informed, and make your voice heard in this election. Remember, election day is November 5, and early voting will go through Friday, November 1st. Thank you so much.